Hello everyone, welcome to session 2, Scrape Away. This is part of the Artistic License Go-Go DIY workshop. Yes, this is session 2, the first layout. Now for session 2 we have two different options. You can either do a layout option or a mini album option. So if you are doing the layout option, you're in the right place. And if you're doing the mini book option, then you're not. So go and find Joe's video. So hello. We are dot scraping in this session. Now you can see I'm applying a whole load of dots. And I really kind of went crazy. Now they needed to be multi-layered. So they needed to be several different colours so I didn't want them in one line, for example. I wanted several lines and I wanted them to be random. So okay, you can see that I have got loads and loads of dots in place, and then I've realised that I should probably put some newspaper under my background, and I've grabbed a ruler and look at that, it was really quite clever. And then I wanted to scrape it again, but I would not recommend necessarily doing that because then I ended up with a scrapey look on the left hand side. You lose the effect of the different levels of dots if you scrape again, just maybe don't do that bit. Now I've ended up I decided at this point to spray the layout and drip. Now if I could make this layout again, I wouldn't drip it. I would just spray the edges of where the dots started, so because that creates like a soft area around the scrapey parts. Does that make sense? I wish I had just water sprayed all the way along and then left it to dry rather than lifted it up and let the paint run down. You've just sprayed it again there. Can you see how I've ended up with this much softer look along the line? And I really wish that I hadn't done the drips. So up to you whether you do the drips or not. I'll be interested to see what happens there. Okay, so I have grabbed a sheet of white card. So you will see in my videos that I've used various sheets of white cards to mount my rub-ons, but you will have one sheet of white to put your rub-ons on and then fussy cut them out. So just ignore the fact that I'm using multiple different sheets because I wasn't sure what to provide you with at the beginning and how much we would need. But one sheet of 12 by 12 will do it. So you have got that in your kit. So I have added my rub-ons, 2 big sprays of flowers to that piece of white card, and I'm fussy cutting those out. Now one of them is for the second layout and one of them is for this one, so just ignore the fact that I did 2 there. So I'm just going to spend some time fussy cutting that out. Obviously we're several hours later and the layout is completely dry. This one dried fairly quickly, apart from the water areas around the middle line. They took a bit longer to dry, but the paint itself at the top dried fairly quickly, and it does look fab, doesn't it, with those real bold colours, all the different layers over the top of each other. Looks really lovely. I'm really happy with how this one turned out. Okay, so I've skipped forward slightly. I've got my flowers fussy cut out from the rub-ons. I've got a very big area of flowers cut out from one of the pattern papers that I've put top right of the layout. I've got one of the big frames from the ephemera pack. That's the light wood grain one, but a square. And then I've got a postcard because obviously the postcard was part of the ephemera, but these photos are of my daughter away on her residential school trip, so the postcard was really apt here because obviously she was away, so that worked well. So I've distressed the edges of both of those and I've just layered them behind the photos, and then I've got my flowers over on the right hand side coming up to meet the big flower from the pattern paper over on the top right corner. So just getting in those little word strips now. So I've got best ever, together, and awesome, and then the word memorable as well, putting in that circle that says this and then I'm going to fussy cut some flowers and dot those around the layout too. Okay, so pretty much everything is stuck in place. I've dotted a few fussy cut flowers around the layout. I've got some leaves coming down, extending the flower at the bottom. I've got some fussy cut flowers top left, I've got this really awkward area at the top where I didn't have any paint, it didn't scrape properly right at the top there, and I'm going to put something there as well, but I haven't done that quite yet. So just adding some little tickets. I've also mounted my my photos, by the way. I don't think I did that on camera. So they are in like a dark green one of the papers, and I've just given them a small outline. So just getting these tickets stuck in place now. They're going to go in the middle of the two photos. And I've just dealt with that difficult area at the top there by adding a fussy cut flower to the very top. There we go, I'm just getting that stuck in place now. And that helps that area there with the white patch that I didn't intend. I could have filled it in with a paintbrush, but just didn't. So I've just put a fussy cut flower there instead, you know. Love things like that. It covers a multitude of sins, right? Okay, so just added in some journaling in that little gap between the drips. I really do wish that I hadn't done the drips and that this whole bottom section of the layout was white with maybe a few splatters, but it is what it is. So it will be very interesting to see what you guys do, whether you do the drips or whether you don't. Now I'm just going to add in a few sequins. Of course, there's no pink in this kit, so it's in this part of the class. So I am just picking out the sequins that work for me. So I've got the greens, the blues, and the white. I'm just going to get those stuck down. Okay, so they are all stuck, and now I'm just going to add in some white splatters of paint. So I've just taken one of the whites from the set of paints, put it onto a craft sheet, added some water, and then flicked as usual with a paintbrush. So nice and easy. Just wanted to add some extra splatters around that section. So there we go. That is this layout complete. I hope you like how it turned out. I say drips or no drips, who knows? I had really good fun doing the scraping technique. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. So happy with how it turned out. So thank you very much for joining me in this class. I will be back for the second layout in the next video.